What every Russian schoolboy knows.
Good time of day to all of you, my chess friends here on the Internet Chess Club. This is Grandmaster Alex Yermolinsky. Welcome back. What every Russian schoolboy knows. Today I will conclude my somewhat disjointed and maybe even controversial series of videos on the chess players that could have, would have, or should have accomplished more in their careers. Today is the second installment of a Valery Salov episode. Now, I do not pretend to be objective, evaluating Salov's chess and evaluating anything about him as a person. We are friends, so this is not to be forgotten. So, as I said, if anybody who has any particular issues with Salov and just doesn't want to hear about him and see his games, well, then maybe you should be skipping this video. But I hope that for the majority of my audience, this is an interesting subject, because Valery Salov was in some ways a unique player. Maybe a player who was born a little too late. Okay, this can be said about many people, of course, but at some moment I think chess kind of started passing him by. But we're going to be talking about the second period of his Salov's chess career, which is the 1990s. I will remind you that by the end of the 1980s, Salov was up there with the best of them. He finished third in the great Grand Prix series of major tournaments held in Europe through a sponsorship of some European companies, and just finishing behind Karpov. And well, Salov was still young, 26 years old in the year 1990. So he was 1 year younger than Kasparov. So his friends and his fans had held their hopes high. And okay, so let's look at some games. This one is from the year 1990. It's from Linares tournament. So that's top of the line, obviously. His opponent was Arthur Yusupov. And actually, we already saw one game between these two at the end of my previous show. Well, Yusupov won that one due to Salov's blunders and time trouble. But what about this game? Salov is white now, opens with c4. Yeah, by this time, Valery's opening repertoire is pretty much settled. He all but abandoned the move e4 that he used at the start of his career and became more of a d4 and c4 player. And particularly with the English, he had the liking for this type of position, and the Catalan, of course. Right, knight a3. Now, Salov was not a fan of opening theory, never was. And I think all the work that he had done on the openings was just done by necessity, because he, obviously, like every player, needed to have some kind of knowledge of the openings. But the first chance he had, he would step away, and this move, knight a3, illustrates it very well. So now, capture there and knight e7. Now, knight e7 is the unusual move. I'd say most people here in this position would go knight f6. Okay, so in this position, obviously. Yeah, well, I had this on the board many years later, actually about 3 years ago, so against the Israeli Grandmaster Viktor Mikhalevsky, and I found this position a little difficult to play, and after I made inaccuracy or two in the opening, I ended up struggling to survive in that game. So this knight a3 is not a bad move, not at all. Now let's see what Yusupov had.